So I'm back, and I'm gonna do another little Transformer hunt. Trying to prop the camera, so I don't have to hold it the whole way. But figure while I'm on my way, because I'm only gonna hit a few stores. I did a full hunt the other week. So I'm not too like, oh, need to get out there and check all the stores again, but got nothing to do at the moment, so I might as well go take a look, see what's going on. There's a Toys R Us. It's way down south. It's almost an hour 15, almost an hour and a half away from where I'm at now. So I typically don't go to that one because it's so far away. But thus far, like when I was doing Revenge of the Fall, collecting Revenge of the Fallen figures, they're the ones that had Mind Wipe and Bludgeon, whereas I couldn't find them anywhere else at first. And then they were the ones that where I found the Masterpiece Grimlock. You know, I find these figures that like nowhere else has in stock. So I'll go take a look, see if there's anything going on. There's also been times where they don't have a single Transformer on the shelf, which sucks. So, but I figure while I'm driving, I do rant of the week, because I haven't actually done one for a while. So, and I don't need to do rant of the week while sitting in my room. I can do it while I'm driving. But so my rant of the week today is gonna be Dinobots. Seriously, what the hell is going on with the Dinobots? This time last year, nobody had Dinobots. We had a Masterpiece Grimlock, a Classics Grimlock, and a Fall Cybertron Grimlock. And that was it. I mean, we're all sitting there like, oh, we want Dinobots, and now everyone's doing Dinobots. There's so many Dinobots out there right now that it's just, I can't even get my head around it. It's just like, wow, really? I actually have to say, there's too many Dinobots on the market, or coming onto the market real soon. And too many that are filling the same void as each other. So there's not one that's like, oh, this one's doing this aesthetics and the rest of them aren't. Alright. So you got Planet X. They did the swoop figure earlier this year. Great figure, amazing quality. Really love the figure. I'm selling them, but because I'm going with the fans toys for that Masterpiece scale. I think I might change my mind on that. I love Scoria. Don't get me wrong, but $200 of figures is kind of pricey. Anyway, so Planet X is doing the Fall Cybertron aesthetics for their figures. Then we got Fans Project, who is doing their like neon take on the Dinobots, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, looks amazing, but it also looks like it could fit side by side with Planet X, because they kind of look like that cross between Classics and the Fall Cybertron Dinobots. So, it's like, I think you can mix and match those guys, and it'll work until you decide which line to go with completely. Because they've got them coming out in different orders, so, and either one it looks like Grimlock would work real well with. So, and yes, Fans Projects is a bit Classics look too. Of course, we got the movie Dinobots, just all over the place. There's different styles of each Dinobot, different sizes for each Dinobot, different paint schemes for different for the Dinobots. You got the Hasbro release, you got the Tarka release, and then you got the like the San Diego Comic-Con release. You got the I think the Sludge came out through Amazon as an exclusive. So they're bouncing back and forth. You know, you're getting all the Dinobots, and you're getting all these different paint schemes. So, I mean, they're everywhere. Okay. All right. Then we get the Masterpiece ones. We got, you know, Masterpiece did Grimlock. You know, maybe they'll do the rest of the Dinobots at some point. Maybe they won't. Who knows? I'm sure they will when they get there. Probably before they do any more Decepticons, but we got Fans Toys, which is doing the proper Masterpiece scale Dinobots. So they're actually technically they're bigger than Grimlock because the Masterpiece scale they need to be bigger than Grimlock. That's why they came with the feet plates for Grimlock to make it a little taller. Then there is another third-party company. I can't remember the name of them off the top of my head, but they're also doing Masterpiece Dinobots, but they're doing them in the scale of Grimlock. All right. So we got you know, 2 different Masterpiece, possibly 3 if Hasbro gets in the game too. Which, I mean, they might. Who knows? Hell, they started the game, so it'd be kind of cool if they just out of nowhere just decide, oh yeah, by the way, we win the game. And then we get there's I can't remember. It's a new third-party company who's doing classic style Dinobots. I think they combined. I'm not 100% on that. But they don't look very good. They look kind of like crap, actually. So we'll see if they actually come out. And then Toy World's doing it too. So they're going to be, you know, a larger Voyager, maybe almost Ultra class Dinobots. That and they do combine. From what we've seen of their Snarl, he looks really, really good. I mean, he looks spot on as Snarl. So it's. So we got. Let's see. We got the movie. We got 2 different Masterpiece scales, 2 different Fall of Cybertron scales, and 2 different classic scales. So we've got 7 different sets of Dinobots coming out. When this time last year we didn't have 1. Just wow. Again, this is one of those times where I have to really question the thought process that goes in the heads of some of these third-party companies that decide, like, I know, you know, if they've already got them beginning to be made and stuff like that, and they're just now announcing them. I know that's, you know, I know it's too late to stop it, but maybe put it on a back burner and work on something else. Like Toy World could, one, release Hegemon again, like they're supposed to, last month. Or was he supposed to come out in June? Either way, he's delayed for a figure that's already been made. But they also could finish their Throttle Bots, their Headmasters. You know, they got other things they could be working on. Same with Fans Project. They got other things they can work on too. Fans Toys, they're doing the Dinobots now, and they've never really shown any other projects as of right now. They're focusing on Dinobots, so maybe it's a little too late for them to maneuver around. Planet X started with Fall of Cybertron characters, so it's only natural that they do the Fall of Cybertron Dinobots. So, you know, it's like, I think those companies should be working on them, and the other companies should work on other projects. You know, Fans Project started the Headmasters. Well, let's finish the Headmasters. They also did a G2 version of one of the Stunticons. Quite frankly, if they repainted that whole set, I'd buy the whole set again. And unlike before, I wouldn't sell it off. I'd be really happy with the G2 Stunticon set. Probably wouldn't put them in combined mode. But I mean, I think again, it's one of those things where I know competition makes everyone shine because they're like, oh, we've got to be better than this other company. But again, they really need to think about, like, okay, competition's great, but if everyone like the fall Cybertron Dinobots, almost everybody I've ever talked to liked the fall Cybertron Dinobots. To an extent anyway. Like, Swoop was going to be their Swoop for their classic scale. And the rest of the fall Cybertron guys will be there for their classic scale. That's great. But now everyone's like, oh, well, I'm going to go with Toy World because I like Toy World's aesthetics. Or, oh, I'm a fan of Fans Projects because they've done good projects in the past. So I'm going to go with them. So it just kind of goes into that whole, it's taking money away from their companies by competing. And when we're talking about a small amount of collectors as there is in the Transformers fandom, no offense to us, but we're not the bulk of collectors. It's not like if Hasbro were to release two different sets of Dinobots, everybody would buy both. This is definitely one of those, more or less, we could buy one or the other because we're talking $100 a piece to $200 a piece. There's just not enough money to be like, oh, well, I'm gonna buy both sets just because I want both sets. Nobody does that. Not really. I know, I'm sure there's some people out there that will, but you know what I mean. It's just not everybody is going to be buying both sets, so they're going to buy one or the other. And by jumping in onto someone else's bandwagon, you're hurting that other company, but you're also hurting yourself too, because you're creating your own competition. Some people are already set on the fall Cybertron Dinobots, and they're not going to go with Fans Project, for example, or Toy World. They've already started their collection, they're going to continue their collection, and that's what they're going to do. And then there's some people that'll be like, okay, well, I'm going to sell off what I've got and then go with the other one. But it's not. If there's one company and they get 90% of the sales, then that one company's going to do real good. But if there's two companies and they both get 45% of the sales, they're both going to be hurting and questioning why they did that. And that's going to put, a lot of these companies, they rely on the revenue of the third-party figure, the one they release. They rely on that revenue to build the next figure. So it's going to take longer for them to get the next set out. So, there's a few exceptions to that. I know Unique Toys, they had got the funding for the entire project from the start for their Predacons. But that might be part of the reason why Mastermind was so behind, is because they're waiting to get the funding from the previous figure, and because they're jumping into that ship of everyone else is already doing Predacons, the sales aren't as quick. Their sales are still pretty strong because they are doing some superior products, but hey, look how long it took Make Toys to bounce back from the Giant thing. Giant versus Hercules. I think Giant is an amazing figure. I really loved having him, but quite frankly, he was, I really think he was the loser in that scenario. And then, it took Make Toys a while to get back on back on the wagon there. What I'm saying is just, I think some of these companies, they're jumping into an overcrowded pool, and there's not going to be enough water to go around for everybody. Somebody's going to get pushed out. And, you know, I mean, think about it. You know, if you got a 5-person hot tub and you try to put 10 people into that hot tub, you know, everyone's going to be unhappy with each other. The water's going to recede, or it's going to overflow to the top, and just, it's going to be unpleasant. And that's what I think is going on with the Dinobots right now. There's too many people in this little tiny field of necessity for Dinobots, and they really need to stop and step back and reassess, like, which ones are priority. You know, Fans Project can do umpteen other projects, and you know, maybe they shouldn't be jumping into this. You know, Toy World, the same thing. I love the aesthetics of their Dinobots, but they're really jumping into an overcrowded pool still. And there's other things that they should be working on that they promised us. And by stretching yourself too thin, you're going to... You're just not going to be able to do as good product of what you're originally planning on. I mean, look at the Throttlebots. It's been, what, maybe 2.5 years now since they announced that project, and so far they've gotten 3 figures out, and they still got 3 left to go. It's just like, come on. Finish that project before you start another Dinobot, or start another Combiner. That's not even supposed to be a Combiner. I'm not complaining that it is a Combiner. I'm just saying, you know, they should finish what they start before they open up a new can of worms. It's not a good business move. You know, I run a hotel. I've said that many times. If I decided to open another hotel next to my hotel, I'm going to steal profits from both properties, and they'll probably both go under. Someone's going to lose money. Someone's going to be upset, and then the fans are the ones that are going to be hurt, because, you know, if the first Fans Project sells decently, but not that well, and the other, you know, some of the other companies that are doing the Dinobots don't sell at all, and then they end up closing, Fans Project's still looking at the bottom line of, well, we didn't make that much money off our first release, so we're going to put the rest of them on the back burner now. And then the fans would be like, okay, well, we're not getting it from Planet X, and we're not getting from, you know, this other company, and Fans Project just put it on the back burner, and now we're back to not having Dinobots at all. I think that sums up my rant. I really, I mean, I'm loving the fact that Dinobots are getting love, but I really think that there shouldn't be this many people doing Dinobots all of a sudden. I mean, Hasbro's in the movie game. Let them be in the movie game. Yeah, they're repainting them to look like G1 for the San Diego Comic-Con. Yeah, that was cool. No, I don't think you should go out and spend all your money on that set, because we all know from the last couple of years that if you want that set, just wait till like Christmas time and they'll reissue it as Platinum Edition, like they did with the Bruticus. You know, everybody will love the San Diego Comic-Con Bruticus, and so he got reissued. So, you know, if you want that set, I'd say just wait. It'll come back. But yeah, I guess that's it. Yeah, I'm still not even a quarter of the way to the Toys R Us, so this is gonna be a long drive. So anyway, question of the day. This video is going to keep going because I'm going to still do the hunt, but the question of the day is going to be, what are your thoughts on all the Dinobots roaming the streets now? Are you like-minded like me, thinking there's too much going on and, you know, too many of them, or are you guys really happy to see them? Alright, so that was Toys R Us. They didn't have anything. they had some of the they had a ton of scoops, but I didn't see anything other than that, really. I mean, they had some Age of Extinction crab, piles of leader class Grimlock, a lot of the Year of the Snake Starscream, or Year of the Horse Starscream, but no Optimus, no Masterpiece figures, no Generations I don't have, but yeah, so that's lame, but you know, I mean, what can you do? Sucks that it's been just over an hour to get here and I didn't have anything. They should know that, like, when I'm driving over an hour to go to the store, they should have, like, all the good stuff right up in the front, ready for me to just pick it up and go. I mean, I think that's fair, don't you? Traffic is horrible. Shouldn't come down here at this time of day, but oh well. So I think there's a Walmart nearby. I know there's a Target nearby. So I'll go hit those two and then start making my way slowly back up to the mountains. So we'll see if there's anything else down here. I'll probably hit a few more stores once I get closer to my area. Kind of want to just hit these two stores and get back on the road because traffic doesn't lighten up in Denver. It is 5:10 right now, and traffic won't lighten up until about 8. So might as well just get on the road and just sit in traffic for an hour. Just start making my way back up. Seriously, I mean, through my business, I work at a hotel and I talk to a lot of people, and a lot of people that come to the hotel, they live in Vegas, they live in Los Angeles and New York, and they're just like, they're blown away by the traffic off of I-25. I'm not quite on I-25, I'm on C-470, which is like the bypass for I-25. But I mean, seriously, it's a parking lot for hours. I mean, you don't move for hours sometimes. And partly because there is a guaranteed accident on C-470 and I-25 every single day. It's not a question of if it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when. Guarantee you, there will be an accident every single day on C-470 and I-25 and I-70. It never fails. It's crazy. Sometimes they're kind of bad. Sometimes they're really bad. Sometimes you get by the car and it's just a burned out shell, still on fire, and the fire department still hasn't made it there because they can't get through the traffic. So I'm sure every city's, or every major city has horrible traffic. And I'm sure I'm not the only one, and I'm sure other places are much worse, but seriously, it's crazy sometimes. It's like, I deliberately schedule myself at work, because I do my own schedules, but I deliberately do my schedules at work to bypass the high traffic time, and going to the mountains. Never, ever take I-70 into the mountains during the summer on a Friday night. Just don't do it. I don't care what's going on. If you've got some big party or wedding you're going to, do not get on I-70 westbound Friday nights up into the mountains. It is the worst traffic jams I've ever seen. I mean, we're talking like 30 miles of parking lot. Just non-stop as far as you can see. Side roads, the back roads through the towns, everything. It's just a complete parking lot. It is absolutely crazy. The other night I took Highway 103 home because traffic was so bad. And Highway 103 is Mount Evans, which is the highest paved road in the country. Yeah, highest paved road in the country. And I take that around to get home. And I got stuck in traffic up there. I mean, we're talking middle of nowhere on a mountain road, and I'm stuck in a fucking traffic jam. And there's no accident up there. It's just that's how many people are going up on these roads to try and bypass the main traffic. It is absolutely insane. And I sit there and I question, like, you know, because a lot of people come from Denver to go into the mountains. And it's like, why would you sit in that kind of traffic every single week when you don't have to? Go somewhere else. Don't go to the mountains. Go east, go north, go south. Don't go west. Anyway, so I'm going to go try and find this Walmart. Like I said, I think there's one nearby. I'm not 100%. We'll see if I can find one. There's always a Walmart nearby. What am I talking about? Whenever you step out of Walmart, you're within 10 miles of another Walmart. That's past Walgreens. Anyway. Alright, so nothing at the Walmart. Nothing at the Target. So, kind of striking out today. The traffic is just horrible. I mean, I know I've said that before, but say it again. This is ridiculous. I haven't even been on the highway for the last 45 minutes. 45 minutes to go 3 blocks. 3 blocks. That's how far I've gone. Although they're technically 4 blocks because one of those blocks was backtracking to the Target. So there's bicyclists in the way. And now I'm getting on the highway, and here is where I will smoke like half a pack of cigarettes in anticipation of moving on the highway. I mean, wow. As far as the eye can see, there is just cars. I'm still going faster than the cars on the highway because I'm passing them, and I'm going 15. Now I'm stopped. Oh, yeah. I love these things. Stoplights to get on the highway. There's my second question of the day. How many of you guys have stoplights to get on the highway? I've never seen that anywhere else, but then again, I haven't really driven in big towns. But you cannot get on the highway in a lot of spots without coming to a complete stop and waiting at the stoplight. And then it lets 1 car per lane onto the highway. Yeah. This is going to be a while. Good thing I picked up a new Mountain Dew at the Target. So, anyway, I'll try and make a couple other stops on the way home. But, yeah. Fun. Alright, so got back to an area a little bit closer to my house. Still, it's like 45 minutes away, or 40 minutes away, but did not find anything at the Walmart I stopped at, but I did stop by the same Target. I found the Roadbuster. They had Tankor. They don't have Rat Trap, but they had Tankor. So I picked him up. So, yeah, pretty happy about that. There's another Toys R Us just it's like a block away or so, maybe 2. So I'm gonna run over there real quick, see if they got anything, and then I'm gonna make one more stop at the Target at the by the mall, and then call it a day. But at least I got one guy. All of this 2 hours and 36 minutes of driving, almost a quarter tank of gas, countless cigarettes, and sitting in traffic. And I got one more guy. Sometimes that just makes you happy. Really wanted to find leader class Jetfire. Totally spaced the tank or rat trap. But hey, I'm happy with that. So I'll check back in. If I find anything at the Toys R Us, I'll check back in then. If not, I'll check back in when I'm done with the other Target. So. Okay, so I just got out of the Toys R Us. I didn't buy anything, but I did see some things, and I figure I would let people know. They had the Masterpiece Prowl in stock, which looks, I mean, he looks just the same as the original, so he looks great. Still $70. Yeah, I thought they were gonna really down price them, because I mean, Soundwave was $150 originally, and then all the cassettes were, I think, $25. No, they're like $50 a box for the two of them, and then so he was like, to get all the cassettes, it was like $250, something like that. But when he got released in Hasbro, or by the Hasbro version for Toys R Us, he was only like $110. Masterpiece Optimus was like $200, and we got released in stores here, he was only $100. So I was really thinking that the Prowl was going to be a lot cheaper, but he wasn't. I mean, he's about the same price. So, although still, you know, if I didn't have him and I had the money, I'd pick him up in a heartbeat. So hopefully they do the other cars, and then I'll be able to find them and just go to the store and pick them up. You know, because if I'm going to order a figure online, you know, it's probably going to be a third-party figure. But if I see the Hasbro figure in the store, I'm going to buy it. I'm weird like that. But they also had the Masterpiece Sunstorm. Now, let me see if I can show you guys the picture, because I took a picture of him. Open it with the photos. Stupid phone. Phone's being stupid. So there is a picture of the Masterpiece Sunstorm. I don't know if you can see that very well, but yeah, it's not coming out very well. But the thing is that he, in the picture anyway, I don't know if this is true for the actual figure, because it doesn't, I mean, the photos are of the figure itself, so I don't know if maybe they just got the wrong photos for him, but he's using the old Seeker body, the old Masterpiece Seeker body, which was very much inferior to the new Seeker body, which is what the new Starscream, Acid Storm, and Thundercracker were using. So it's kind of weird if they would go back to that now, but like I said, maybe it's just the pictures being wrong. If they're going back to the old design, that's just stupid. I mean, unless they're going to release two different versions of him. I know the Masterpiece Sunstorm with the Coronation kit, that one had the fixes on him. So I wonder if maybe they're using the old body, and that way. So if you want the new body, you have to go buy the old one. If you want the old body, because you already got this collection going, you got to get the new one. Maybe. Who knows? but they never make a whole lot of sense. So I'm gonna hit one more store and then I'm calling it a day. Alright, so that was the Target. They didn't have much of anything, just 3 more tank wars, but still no rat trap. I debated on picking them up for troop building, but decided against that because what's the point? With funds being as tight as they are, it's probably not the best decision at the moment to troop build tank war. I mean, it'd be a different story if I knew that somebody was going to make a bigger tank war soon, and I could use all these little ones as like the troops. But I don't think there's a whole lot of fan demand for tank war at the moment. Maybe someday. I mean, it seems like the fans are starting to get back into wanting more Beast Wars figures, but Beast Machine's still kind of getting the short end of the stick there because the show was different than the rest, and toy line blew balls, so nobody wanted to collect them. I do, but I guess that's just me. There's also a Toys R Us outlet that was in the mall, so I went and checked that out. They had absolutely nothing. I mean, there were a couple leader class Grimlocks and some Transformer 4 guys, but for the most part it was empty. But the funny thing is like, there's this kid who's talking to the guy that running the store, and he's like, and I'd do just about anything if I could find a Masterpiece Prowl right about now. So I pointed him to the other Toys R Us that had Masterpiece Prowl. So hopefully he runs down there and grabs him. Because, I mean, it's a great figure. And, you know, when you're out hunting, you know, hope you at least get one really cool figure. I got Tank Horde, so I'm kind of win, kind of not. But anyway, so I guess that's it for this toy hunt. What's your luck been at like this week?